You're gonna go for it.
I'm gonna try and hit you with my sword.
Roll Lodge Sword.
67.
Ooh.
That's a miss.
No, that is a miss. You just swipe just at the air when it's backing up, when it's recoiling back.
Bounce off the ribcage, boys.
Schmidt, you're in the
Yes.
fray. There are more of you and your friends now than there are of them.
Yeah, but there's one sledgehammer to rule them all. The
That-
nearest skeleton. Bring
Then it-
me in, coach. Put me in.
Well, that is a wild miss.
Put me in, coach.
Sorry, wild miss. You overconfident from your first strike. You try and do the same thing again, but the skeleton actually darts back. These things
What?
possess an intelligence that you do not think they originally would.
These skeletons have an intelligence that you do not have. It's
No,
like-
no, no. You thought that they would be mindless, but they aren't.
Yeah,
Bone
they're pretty
heads.
good.
Daniel, we'll have you
I
go.
shout out, watch out, they know how to fight.
Daniel, you are there. You have sledgehammer.
I'll go for the nearest skeleton to me then.
Roll your attack then.
31.
That is also a miss, I'm afraid.
Oh, sledgehammer bro.
Closer than Schmidt's attempt, but again, this thing moves out the way. They are growing wise to your smash them strategy. Victor,
People die when they are
When they
shoot
are
the one
shattered.
attacking Daniel.
Hmm?
Shoot the one attacking Daniel.
all right. Oh,
Did I shoot Daniel?
you've had a misfire with the gun.
These fucking elephant guns, goddamn.
I'm going to roll to see what happens here. What is Daniel's luck?
Oh no.
Oh, it's pretty high. Okay. What pretty much happens is you press to fire and the thing gets completely jammed up,
Oh,
Sure.
and it's not like the jam that happened last time though. This thing sounds like it's misfired very badly. But fortunately, it didn't go off and accidentally shoot someone else.
Phew.
I spend the rest of my turn appreciating this.
Skeletons. There are two of them left. One of them is going after Violet because Violet has been pretty good at this. Is Violet electing to try her dodge?
How many more skeletons are going to be whacking me?
There's only one that's going after you.
Do I feel like this is a good blow? Well, I mean, why would I not dodge? Yeah, I'll dodge.
Give it a go.
Overconfidence is an insidious killer.
Sidestep into a bear trap.
casual 92.
Nah,
Yeah. The flat feet return.
you
Move into the
you
blow.
try and do your deft parry again, but this time, as you're about to try and do it, the sun catches a small part of the skeleton's sword that could still catch a shine and dazzles you. Fortunately, its blow doesn't connect either way. The other skeleton has decided to change target and is going to strike Schmidt. Although,
Ha.
though Schmidt is crazy good at dodging.
He is crazy good at dodging.
And you jinxed it.
80%.
So what did you get? You got...
Hmm.
um,
I got a 79. Good.
no, you got a 97.
Oh, come on.
I knew it.
Ooh, it actually hits you.
No.
It deals damage to you, but we shall see how much. You are... The edge of its blade briefly skims your face. Like you get caught by...
My beautiful face.
You get caught by it. You get a small, like, grazing cut. You take 1 point of damage.
Down to
Does he look
13 I
cool?
go.
With his
So
new
just
scar.
quickly so I can keep my character sheet up to date. How much damage did I take?
You didn't take any damage. Schmidt took 1
Wait, how did I not take damage?
because you weren't hit.
Yeah, you failed your
Even though
dodge,
you
but
got
the
dazzled,
thing is-
it didn't hit you.
Sorry, I heard the front door, so I was like AFK for 10 seconds. And I came
Even
back
though he
and
got
wait, no,
dazzled,
no, no.
it didn't hit you. But Schmidt got his face got caught by the tip of
My
the
face.
sword.
My beautiful face.
Initiative goes round. it is Schmidt's turn, speaking of which. It has drawn blood. And it is yours.
Oh yeah. Well, I obviously have to counterattack, and I shout, "You Schweinehund!" at it, and try to do
Your
the
rage
hammer time.
Your rage fuels your blow, and you deal a colossal amount of oh my word! You've actually rolled maximum.
Yes, that's how you go
rolled
with.
12 points of damage there, and that
Pulverized.
skeleton is gone. That skeleton is smashified. Your pure rage at being hurt just fuels your blow, and it is gone. There is one skeleton left.
I let out a pure Germanic scream of
There is
barbarism.
Daniel. There is one skeleton.
I like these skeletons obey D&D rules.
Don't care.
Third time's the charm, I think.
Tom, go on.
It was not the charm. 33.
Oh, again, you have missed. Oh, you're at least providing another target. Victor, there is one skeleton.
I would like to use my throw skill to throw this fucking piece of shit rifle at the goddamn skeleton.
Sure. Right. Well, you rolled a 10, so you've actually managed to throw it.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
It's not
Don't
exactly.
let him actually do this.
It's not going to deal very much damage, I might warn you.
Yeah, but the cartridge is gonna explode and the misfire will get stuck in its hip and it's all gonna boom.
You have dealt
Patella will.
2 points of damage.
What if the rifle gets stuck like in the skeleton's rib cage and it just kind of like has it in there while it's still fighting?
So you throw in anger of your own. You throw the rifle forcibly at the skeleton. Of all the implements that the skeleton was expecting to have fired at it, projectiles, a crossbow, a gun was not one of them.
Well, I mean,
The butt
it
of
was
the
either
gun
that or argue with
the butt of the
psychology that
gun caves in the front of its skull, and
What?
it collapses.
And it sustains brain damage.
You
longer able.
you seriously just killed the skeleton by throwing the gun at it.
Correct.
Can I do a backflip?
And I do a
You can certainly try.
Let me try.
No.
I want to finish with that.
acrobatic
You
skill.
try and do a backflip in celebration and land firmly on your face.
Oh well. Wait, on my face.
Yep.
On the backflip.
Ah.
But
Yeah.
you're spinning the other way. Fuck, how does that happen?
You fail to do the backflip quite badly.
You take 1 damage.
No, he doesn't take damage,
I
except to his pride.
Misfired the backflip.
So that's all skeletons gone,
The
right?
skeletons are gone. They have
Okay,
been.
I'd like to go from skeleton to skeleton and pulverize each head if it's still intact.
Yep, that does not
with
take
my
you long.
sledgehammer. With my sledgehammer.
That does not take you long. The skeletons have been dispatched.
Nice.
I would like to go do the same to the ones in the tower if they're still there.
Schmidt, as you destroy the first skeleton's head, you swear that in the distance you see a figure just vanish over the hillside. But when
like
you
a
look,
like a humanoid figure.
yeah, but when you look up again, there is no one there.
I say I swear I just saw something move up on the hill and point in the direction with my sledgehammer like a trusty sword. Also, Kiko, I would like to keep the sledgehammer.
Yeah, sure.
Like, definitely. Like,
Yeah.
I will write it into my inventory.
Yeah, sure.
For I will customize it for
keep-
the future.
Keep the sledgehammer. It's a deals a 1d8 damage. 1d8
Nice.
plus damage bonus. The end of the end of this module, you will be rolling to see if you improve your large club sledgehammer skill.
I will
Can we,
customize the
uh,
sledgehammer and I will turn it into a mighty weapon called Brunhilde. This is now what I'm about. Fuck rifles.
What was the question there, Rufus?
Can we go make sure that the other skeletons are disabled so they don't get any ideas?
What was the only skeletons you found so far?
Or the ones in the tower? Were those the ones getting up?
Those were the ones that got up,
Including the lizard?
including the lizard ones.
Oh god, imagine the lizard getting up and like swinging his tail around.
Oh, okay, I didn't catch that. I thought they came out the pile of rubble.
Yeah, that was the
They
rubber
did.
you were examining.
But that was at K.
Yes.
No, the rubble under J was the one Kleiker was fucking around
Yeah.
with.
Yes, but that's not from there. No, they came up from the rubble on K. He was as he was like looking around at I and poked his head out. He saw the skeletons move.
Oh, I see
Yeah.
this.
Because there were like holes in the walls and stuff. That's how he saw it. I rolled a spot check for him. So there are no more
Nice.
skeletons that you could see around. You hadn't explored F, and Angus takes a moment here, and those were skeletons that walked and swung swords and why are none of you so bothered about this?
Could have had meat.
I mean, I feel like we've seen some pretty strange things in that general line before.
Yeah. Walking bones is not the weirdest we've ever dealt with.
Right.
Now I want to see these little people. Now that is something.
Da.
Remember as well, you had spotted a large disc, a part of a golden disc, Schmidt.
Yeah,
Oh
but
yeah, right. Everybody, follow me. I found this golden disc at the rubble before I spotted the skeletons coming for you. There must be something worthwhile about it if we face such danger here in this.
You gonna follow him?
Yes.
Why not?
It does not.
Everyone just like, nah, we're not
You
following
go.
I'm like,
You go in,
okay.
and you guys have seen the relief of this and the picture that you found in the looking to the future thing. This is part of the relay disc.
Violet creams herself.
This comes together with something that was mentioned in one of Hancock's letters. So you remember that he wrote some letters saying that remember when he said the first piece was stolen from the dig site last night, but they did not get the second piece. I have it is well hidden now. They will not get it from me. And now you found one piece of the disc that's here. And he talked of other pieces.
In this, now that we're inside,
Mm.
what do I see? Is there anything inside these various rooms that would give me anything I can inspect or preferably read?
Not in this room, no. This room is pretty much the room you'll find this piece of the disc, which looks heavy, is pretty much the remnants of a storehouse. This room is not especially interesting. If you want to find something interesting, you conclude that you probably want to go check the other room at the temple.
Okay, I'm going to go into the temple.
Right, now that you found this piece of the disc, you're going to go from room E to F.
Yes, and obviously because I'm an absolutely enormous specimen, I'm taking the gold disc with
This
me.
is
because, you know,
This is £100 worth of disc.
that's only 40 kilos. Violet bench is like 700.
Oh,
She's enormous.
it's 40 kilos.
Gigantic.
It takes a little bit of, even with that, it takes a little bit of effort, but you do heft it up into your hands. It's £100 bit of gold. This is solid gold.
Nice.
Excellent.
Angus's eyes widen as large as saucers when he sees you coming out with a massive slab of gold. Did you find that in there?
Can we tell how big the other pieces will be from that one piece?
You would conclude, as I said to Schmidt, that this completed disc would be a foot in diameter.
And how much is that we've got right now?
You have a third of it. It's 3 pieces by the size of it. You would
This is
think
the
the minimum
outer
amount would be like 3 pieces if they were of equal size.
So what I'm getting at is we would have noticed if it was at the house, for example. If there was one, though.
Well, you did find a very big box, and looking at the size of this piece, you could conclude that a piece of this could be in that box.
The one we were going to get a locksmith to have a look
The one you were going to get a locksmith at. There
Or a
could very
sledgehammer.
well be a piece of the disc in that by the dimensions. Now that you've seen this one,
I vote Kleiker go full Peter Gabriel on that fucking box when we get home.
Yeah.
the room that you're going into, Violet, I'd like you to make me either a mythos or an archaeology roll. Whichever you prefer.
I'm going to start with archaeology
Right.
because that's easier. No, 21.
21. Okay. It's very quick that you discover that this part of the temple is not dedicated to Nyarlathotep, nor is it dedicated to any of the Roman gods. Combining bits of Mythosian lore that you have and your archaeology, you determined that this was a temple dedicated to Azathoth.
Not my boy, Nyar.
No, this one's dedicated to Azathoth.
Okay.
You recall Azathoth as a horrendous, mindless entity that resides somewhere far close to the center of the universe. A writhing mass of chaos and death. There are the bones of several humans and two that look very similar to the ones that you found in the rubble by Kay.
Slap him.
All right. So what? Can I do mythos as well?
Yes?
Excellent.
What did you get?
Oh fuck no! I got fucking 81.
No, you can't piece much else together apart from that. That these people worshipped both Nyarlathotep and Azathoth simultaneously.
Can we bin these bones before?
You could certainly smash the bones if you
They
like.
get some
There's-
ideas.
I'm not going to stop you from smashing bones.
Bin them.
Are there any other rooms you wish to explore? You didn't explore D properly, or C, or B, or A, or J. You can go through them systematically if you wish.
Yeah, let's not split up commando style.
Which place do you want to go to first?
Go to the top and work down, I guess.
A?
Mhm.
So you go to the northernmost building that seems intact. This small building may once have been a residence of the somebody that of importance that lived here. There is a tent that has been placed over parts of this building.
For the archaeology, presumably. The dig.
Yeah. Inside, 2 wooden tables are piled high with artifacts, including armor and equipment belonging to Roman legionnaires.
Nice.
You can see slightly to the south of it, and a little bit to the west, is a smaller tent that you can go have a look at.
Okay.
Anyone wish to have a look at it, or?
Oh, we'll have a look
I
at it
do.
then.
Yeah, yes, of course.
This is a tent which has a bunch of personal papers and garments and generic items. It doesn't take much rummaging around to find out that the items and garments bear the monograph of HMH, which you quickly deduce is the items belonging to Hancock, because those are his initials. Henry Montague Hancock. You also get the feeling this tent has been searched. There is a bunk, and there is a set of papers on a sort of hastily assembled table. You can tell me if you want to search anything in particular.
What was on the table?
There is a bunch of papers on the table, and there is a bunk.
I'll look through the papers.
Look through the papers, right. Looking through the papers, you find a rather interesting excerpt. I will read it to you. An excellent example of an evil Pictish group is that from Loch Mulladock in Scotland. These Picts worshipped the being known elsewhere as the Demon Sultan, but as in some other locations, they performed this worship as bidden by beings of an older and more malign species. Indeed, I know for a fact that these remnants from the days of pre-human reptiles even now walk the earth. Another place where such beings may lurk is in North America, where the great old ones were worshipped long before the advent of Columbus. I am here thinking of locations in Spain's Alta California province.
By the way, just as a note, of the artifacts that we found, do any of them have inscriptions I could be reading while this is going on?
No, nothing especially interesting about. They're more like archaeological artifacts than Mythosian ones.
No inscriptions.
I want to share my findings of the papers with the men's.
Violet,
I'm out here being Empress Literacy, Queen of Reading.
as soon as you start sharing this information, Violet, you recognise this as an extract from a book you have read.
Mm-hmm.
This is from Nameless Cults.
Yes.
So
Reading pays off once more. I inform the group of the power of library use and encourage them to donate to their local library.
There is also there are other places you can search as well. There are other piles of papers. There's the bunk as well.
What state are the weapons in?
The weapons are in typical sort of they have been buried for nearly 2,000 years sort of buried condition.
Nothing good for a smacking if more of those twats show up.
No, these ones are gonna quickly fall to pieces if somebody decides to actually use them.
While people fuck around, he'll go try and mechanical repair that busted goddamn
All right.
elephant gun.
No, that you very quickly realise this gun's a goner.
Again,
This gun is very much a goner.
it's a gunner.
You look at it and you conclude that if you try and dislodge that round, it's gonna explode.
He angrily throws it in the lock.
You go over to the lock and you angrily throw it in. Sploosh.
Sploosh?
Well, it splashes in, doesn't it?
Oh, I see.
I
I didn't arouse anything under the water.
No.
I say a burial prayer in Merian.
That
Aw.
fortunately was not your elephant gun. It was the other elephant gun you got. So,
Oh right, okay, good.
So anything
it
else you
was
want to look
one.
at in this tent, or
There's no like miscellaneous
there's
diaries
a few
and
other
so on,
piles
nothing
of
else to read?
papers? Anyone want to make a general search check?
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
have a
I think
look.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
look at those papers.
Roll me general search checks then, anyone?
41.
41.
Do me.
15.
15. Daniel, you start looking not at the places that have been searched intently, but the ones that haven't been searched intently, and your eyes settle on the bunk. You look around the bunk, and popping your head under it, you notice that something has been purposely concealed under a small pile of papers. You reach for it, and you see that it is a 5-pointed star stone that you recognize because you've seen one of these before.
Alright.
You recognize this
What do I
design
recognise it
as that of an elder sign.
Yo.
The protection symbol.
Yes, it is not, however, powered.
Does it look old? Does it look like something that's been found in the dig?
No, it doesn't look like something that's been found in the dig.
Is it something that maybe someone brought with them?
You remember, by looking at it, that in the letters, Henry requested that someone send him a starstone for protection.
So whose tent was this? Is there any sign of who
This is you identified it as Henry's because a lot of the garments and items had his monograph
Oh, it was actually
HMH
Henry's,
on it.
okay.
So this is his tent, and you found his starstone. It's not powered up though.
How long does it stay powered?
Once they're powered up, they stay powered indefinitely. But nobody
So
actually.
you just got a hunk of rock then?
He's got a hunk of rock. Nobody actually charged this thing up.
Scam.
Well then.
Some people just put the symbol on, thinking it'll protect them. They need to do a bit more than that. For somebody without mythos, they may think they're protected, but you know better. There's the room that Daniel went and found a sledgehammer in, and then there's Jay. That's pretty much it. The only other thing of interest is that there are a set of stakes in the ground to the south of the tent you're in. It doesn't take much to conclude that they were where tents used to be.
For the dig, not for the camp.
Yeah, for the dig.
Okay.
As in, you think tents may have been there for the dig in general, but they're not there now.
I'm assuming that if there had been tents, the vegetation would have been dead in the square where the tent would have been.
Yeah, the vegetation's not doing very well in that area either. So
Aw.
really, there's just the room that Daniel found the sledgehammer and the area below where Schmidt found the piece of the disc.
Probably should check out the area below then.
Okay.
Oh, areas below, they always pay off. Let's go.
Okay. Ignoring where, for the moment, where Daniel found the sledgehammer, you head to the location below where Schmidt found the piece of the disc, and you recognize this very quickly, Violet, as the general shape of a Roman barracks. There are various pottery shards and the remnants of weapons that can easily be found in the area. There are no skeletons here, however. There's a pile of
That's
rubble
good.
to the south of this location, but it doesn't look like there are any remains in them.
Hmm.
Just a pile of unearthed rubble. The only place you haven't looked at now is back by the tent, which is D.
We do it.
You're going to go have a look. This is... Violet also quickly identifies what this is, mainly because of the shape of where, like, remnants of wood and stuff used to be, and the building. This is a stable.
Is there anything in the stable of any interest?
You can have a search if you like.
Do it, boys. Everyone, unleash
Let's
your
have a
search
search.
fedoras.
We do it. Do me.
Okay. And,
11.
11. And Violet?
No, I'm in fucking 70.
Okay. Violet and Schmidt, along with Angus, are looking in the northern part of the building. Daniel and Stravinsky start looking in the southern part, and it doesn't take you long before you start moving things and you uncover a body. Unlike the other bodies that you've encountered here, this one still has flesh. This one has not been dead for anywhere near as long as the remains that you've seen elsewhere here.
Let's call a dude in and ask if he knows them.
Angus,
Whoever.
you call him over, and he has a look, and he immediately goes pale and gasps like, "Oh God, it's Adam!"
Okay.
Adam who?
He was working with Hancock. His associate, his confidant. Oh my God, they killed him. Someone's killed him.
Yes.
Medicine roll, if you like, please. Anybody that wishes to examine the corpse.
Daniel.
I will examine. 59.
This man died, does not take you much to conclude, from extreme blunt trauma to the back of the head.
So someone needed to kill the skeleton inside him. That's what you're saying.
This man...
Before it got out.
This man was offed, probably without him knowing it was going to happen, by a whack to the back of the head with a heavy blunt object.
We take like a sledgehammer and sort of
They didn't
measure
go
the,
back
the
to.
indentation.
They didn't go back to Africa at all.
I'd like to have some magic on my sledgehammer.
Oh. We have to tell the constable about this. There's been a murder.
Well, yes, we should call him immediately. You should go and get him.
You'll be all right here.
Oh yes, we handle this all the time.
Will you be okay alone home?
I've walked this countryside for many a year. I'll be fine, but tomorrow if you'll be all right. I mean, it'll get dark eventually.
Well, we'll be fine. We can find our way back, I'm sure.
Yeah, just follow the lock. Follow the lock and you'll eventually get to Cannock. I've got to go tell the constable. He rushes off.
Okay.
He rushes
Stravinsky
off.
waves.
You wave. So you are left now with the McRaes, who have stayed at L and have not noticed any of the commotion that's been happening.
Even with the fucking elephant gun going off. No wonder their children got stolen. God damn.
You can go check them if you like. They haven't rushed to you. That's what you know.
Hello. They're dead, aren't they?
No. They look at you with a little bit of curiosity. Hunting?
No. But I may need new rifle. I had accident. It went in lock.
I only have mine, and I can't really give
thank
that.
you.
I can't really give that to you, I'm afraid. He doesn't give you it.
Stravinsky would like to roll psychology by making a face. You know that face a kindly little man like Stravinsky can make at you that makes you just want to give him toffee.
If you're going to want to take the thing from him, you're going to have to roll persuade, not psychology.
What do I have?
You do not have any persuade.
I can't throw anything to make this work.
No, you could try and persuade him. I mean, it's a 5% chance.
Sure.
You roll an 88.
Nice.
You are not in the least bit convincing. That's unfortunate for you, but I need to keep this just in case.
But I said plus. Plus.
Have you done what you need to do here? With Angus going off, I imagine you have.
Yeah, sure. Let's go find Leplernome.
What are you guys going to do about this massive piece of gold that you have?
We could bury it, I guess, and come back and get it on our way back. Men?
Can we not keep it with us easy enough?
You can, it's just a bit cumbersome.
Cumbersome as in if we had to flee from something.
If you had to flee from something, it may slightly impede the person who's fleeing, as a warning. But But you can take it with you.
Well, I guess if I can somehow carry it, like maybe on my back or something like that, I should be able to do this because I'm very strong.
You're gonna retire with the gold disc, aren't you?
Just gonna run away and
Maybe.
and keep it forever.
No one's running anywhere with 40 kilograms on their back.
Exactly.
That's not too hard. People in the army have more weight than that.
That's true, actually.
It's more evenly distributed, however.
Yeah, it's like carrying one of those old CRT monitors you can't get a proper grip on. Fuck that.
You McRae decides to lead you away from the dig site. And he is going to be taking you to the forest. There is a forest, if you consult the map that you have, there is a forest more to the northeast that he's taking you to. And that's where you are going to search. He's got his gun and he's intently, as he gets to the forest, he stops and goes, "Alright, there are ways that you can tell where they are. The rustling of bushes too high to be rabbits or woodland creatures. Laughter. And the smell of lavender. If there's too much lavender, they're there. Don't want to kill it.
Okay.
We just want to capture one and find out what happened to my baby. Alright?
You have keen sense of justice, my friend. They take your baby, you take their baby.
I think I'll be happy with just mine back.
Oh, okay. Stravinsky trots off to search.
You start walking through the forest. Ooh. Schmidt. There's
Yes.
something watching you. You don't
From
know.
where?
You can't quite tell. You just have that feeling. You like that
We're
sort of.
being watched.
You have that feeling of being observed. No,
I can
as soon
see
as you
that.
enter the woods, you have this feeling of being observed.
Stay alert, everyone. Someone is watching us. Look around. Walk in the group. Someone keep an eye on our back. My soldier instincts kick in. I immediately go to trench warfare.
Mm-hmm.
Start screaming.
Do we
In a hole.
dig trenches now in the woods?
There's nothing, the rest of you, there's nothing that would make you think that there's anything wrong. Feels just like a wood in late afternoon at this point.
Oh, nice. Good stroll. Can
You're,
I psychology him to see if he's okay?
yeah,
I want to roll that.
you think he seems okay, he just thinks he spotted something, but you can't tell that there's anything there.
Okay.
You start making your way through the wood. McRae is turning over logs, looking under looking under,
Looking for his fucking kid under a log.
looking under bushes and crouching down at certain clear patches of the woodland to try and find tracks. You can tell he's really passionate about what he's doing, and believes he's is on a trail, but he's following a selection of clues. He leads you deeper into the woodland.
What's his wife's attitude to this? She's sort of just been tagging along.
She's very supportive of this, but she's very quietly supportive. You can tell that mostly she's worried, not for him or her, but their baby, and that's why she's coming along. She's armed with a rolling pin.
Nice.
That was her weapon of choice. Schmidt, something's definitely watching you. You still don't know where from. Above you? Through that thicket of trees? There's something wrong.
What is wrong?
You don't know. But there's something
Okay.
wrong. You feel like there's something wrong.
Spot hidden?
Mm-hmm. No.
Listen check?
Oh. You make a listen. You stop. Well, first you can't see anything. You stop
Okay.
and you listen.
What do we hear? If I hear anything.
To begin with, all you hear is the rustling of trees and the tweeting of birds. Then, just on the edge of your hearing, you hear a very odd and yet familiar sound. There is a hum and a crackling noise. It's low. It's very quiet. It's very unnatural, and it's coming closer.
It's coming closer. Okay, do I have like an idea of the direction it's
No,
coming
you
from?
don't have an idea of the direction. Roll me a mythos roll.
Only me. Or everybody.
You remember this noise.
Okay.
You think about it, and you remember this noise, and it all comes back to you in a horrifying flashback.
Oh god, it's...
Deep under the farmhouse, in a guarded bunker.
Oh no.
The buzzing,
Oh no.
the dust, Hussey disintegrating before your eyes.
Oh no, it's that fucking thing.
This is You've no idea how, but there's a Vermeer nearby.
I immediately tell everybody, I can hear this. I don't know if you can. There is a Vermeer. It's the thing from the bunker. We have to get out of here. We
Roll
have to
me
get out of
listen
here
checks, everyone.
Do me.
now. We
Okay.
have to get out of here now.
61.
What was that,
78.
Mm-hmm. Varda?
Daniel literally deaf.
61.
Mm-hmm. None of you hear it. But McRae stops.
Yeah, but wouldn't Schmidt have said something?
Yeah, Schmidt's told you, but you still don't hear it.
Yeah, he tells us we listen for it.
You have to still listen for it.
Yeah, hasn't he said like let's
Yeah, we
peace out though?
We gotta go. We gotta run.
Yeah,
we
so
can't
we
do
should just
anything.
be-
We have to run.
yeah.
What you
Let's run right now.
remember about these things is that you can't see them.
So where do we run?
What about his superior German hearing?
He
He
can,
already-
he
he
can
already said
hear
I
it, but he
can't.
doesn't know which direction it's coming from. You also remember from your experience that anything that hits it or comes into contact with it pretty much disintegrates.
Okay, so we need
McRae-
to look around. Since we're in the forest, we need to look at things disintegrating.
McRae,
Can we spot hidden for it?
I tried. He said I didn't see anything.
I
Yep.
mean, can the rest of us?
you could try. The other thing you remember is that these things can fly.
Oh,
Oh.
that's not good.
Well, can you
I-
assume that the crackling it is disintegrating thing? So if we don't hear it, it's above us, where there's nothing.
The other person that stopped,
What the?
Jesus Christ!
that may be what you're hearing when it gets closer.
That just disintegrated someone.
I'm sorry, that was just a rabbit going la 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 la. Psst.
We said the disintegration beams. We're going down.
While none of you could hear it, McRae, the man that you are following, has stopped and he has raised his gun up because this is because he's heard it. What was that? That's no deer. That's no wolf.
Well, I just shouted that it's like a thing, and we have to go. We have to get out of here. Don't
That's
worry
a
about it.
move.
You have no idea about this. Just run. Like, we should run back to where we came from.
You're going to run back.
I mean, I'd say so. We should do that. Like,
Oh.
we need to make a decision, like, now, basically.
You need to make a decision. Which way, if you're going to run, which way are you going to run?
Where are we going, guys?
We need space.
We
So
need space.
not into any of the buildings.
Well, it goes through things, so we need places where there's shit. We can see it coming, either through canopy of tree leaves or whatever.
The trees aren't.
Otherwise,
The trees aren't especially like there are trees here, but they're not thick. The forest isn't thick enough, you'd think, in a way that it wouldn't be able to navigate its way to you. There are thicker parts of the wood that would be further in, you'd guess, but you don't know how far in.
How did we deal? How did we deal with the last one?
The last
You
one
did
you dealt
magic
with,
sword, right?
you ran away from it, and then you threw a gem into it and unleashed a horrible monster. But Violet
Oh, right.
remembers that these things are weak to enchanted weaponry.
Ah, right.
So your sword could hurt it if you could see it.
this sounds like a job for a throw. A tosser.
Throw the sword at it.
Who's the master of the throw?
I wouldn't say master. I'd say maybe a third master.
So, and I'm really good at jumping, so if you get on my back, I can jump high up so you get closer for your throw. That's also
Nice.
terrible, I'm sorry.
So, have you decided you're going to run?
But what are we gonna do? Like, we're gonna move.
This basically is a you unless you want a lot of time to pass. This is a sort of you have a cup. The longer you spend debating it in character, the more it has to act. So this has basically been your thinking. You've been thinking in your heads right now, and you've had a second or two to gather this idea up. So plan of
Well,
action if you have.
I
one.
shall just run. Just run
Just
into
run.
the
Yeah.
forest. Run
Run
into
towards
the forest.
I think. Not
Yeah.
back.
Sounds good.
You're going to run to the
Run
forest.
into the forest.
Right. I am going to roll.
Kiko, what was the thing called again?
It's called a Vermern.
Okay.
Can
thank
I
you.
do an attempt to grab the guy's gun and then leg it with it?
If
That's
you're
the only way we can get him to follow us. Otherwise, he's just gonna fucking stand there and die.
You'll have to make a grapple check, I think.
Sure.
Do you have the grapple skill?
I've touched people before.
You don't have the grapple skill then.
I do not.
You make a clumsy attempt to grab his gun. He doesn't. He keeps an even tighter grip on the thing.
Oh,
I quickly go up to him, I slap him in the face, and I say, "Run, mensch, run!"
do you have the slap skill?
I have psychology.
The
which
rest of
puts,
you are
like,
moving
more
deeper into
power
the
my
forest.
slap.
Yes.
It puts more power into my
Okay.
slap.
Rest of you moving deeper into
Nice.
the forest. Okay.
Kiko, let me do psychology on the man to try to get him to move.
He's immune. We've tried.
He's immune.
You have to persuade.
Oh,
We don't have time for this though. This was
Yeah, we
just the
don't.
quickest thing we could try. That's
we
fucking.
don't.
You're just
If
gonna
he dies,
move.
He dies. If he dies,
Goodbye,
he dies.
you
Like
die.
I said, I slap him. I shout at him. If he doesn't want to move, I just run with the
Okay.
others.
So you move. You all run. You're running deeper into
The
the forest.
wife, of course, is also invited to run. We didn't need to omit her, but she's invited to follow as well.
It is not very. It is only a few more seconds before he's coming up. He's following after you, because at this point you can all hear the hum. You can all hear it, and you don't know which direction this is coming from. You run deeper into the woodland, and the wood gets a bit thicker, and
Do
eventually
we have any idea if the sound gets sort of lower as we get further away? Or
the sound just gets quieter as you get further from it. And the one
so
thing you
it's behind us.
The one thing you remember, at least to your credit, is that this thing was not fast the last time you fought it. So as you get further and further into the woodland, it gets quieter and quieter. But the momentary relief of thinking that you may have outpaced it is overshadowed by the memory that this thing literally bored through the ground to get you, and that it is unrelenting. So even as it gets thicker, the trees, you wonder if it will follow you. But for now, you get far enough away that the buzzing noise is not there.
Okay, well that's good.
You're in a
Okay.
darker part of the woodland here. The canopy is thick enough that it's blocking out a lot of light. Not many animals are here. The undergrowth is thick. The tree's old. The wind barely gets in. This is not a part of the wood from McGray's face you can tell that he's ever been in before. And he's quite afraid.
Of course, right.
Why
Don't
four?
be afraid. It's just a monster that evaporates everything it touches.
Are you going to tell him that?
No, no, no.
What are you going to do?
Do we have any idea where we are?
You know you're in the woodland deeper in.
Okay.
This is not area that you're familiar with. The trees sort of all look the same to you.
Okay, so we don't know if we got turned around or anything. We just ran into the
You ran
woodland
in
and now we're...
what you think is one general direction. The only problem is you're not quite sure which way is the way back at this point.
Well, we could ask Guy.
Could ask him if you want.
He's got to know more than us. Hello, where's the way?
He looks around. Looks to the left, looks to the right. If we could see through the canopy, we'd be able to see the mountains past Loch Manar. Then we'd know which way's north. And then we could maybe figure out how to get out.
Okay.
What was that thing? What was that buzzing? I've never heard anything like that before.
It is nothing you should think about too much, my guter Mensch.
Then why did we run
It
from
will,
it?
it will just give you misery to think about it. Just know that it would have killed us all if we didn't run.
We don't know any spells that can do anything about it, do we?
I kind of do, but not really.
Well,
Do we have a powered up protective stone or whatever?
you only have a
Probably
warding.
an amulet or something, didn't we?
You have a warding kind of spell, but that requires setting up specially set up stones, and when one of them's knocked over, it alerts you. But is this thing going to knock them over, or is it just going to disintegrate them?
I could summon a bigger problem.
You want to summon a bear?
No, there are no bears in Scotland. I checked. Something
There's wolves.
from above. Yeah, I can't summon wolves.
Well, that's fucking out. We're useless.
Yeah, it's shite, isn't it? But we can only do it at night.
It's
With
not
no
night
clouds.
yet.
If we can all hear it, we can tell the rough general direction it's coming from, though, can't we?
If you hear
Well,
it,
it might be below us.
you hear it clearly enough. Well, if it's coming from below you, you'll be able to very quickly see where it emerges.
Fuck. Well, I mean, make way towards nearest clearing. That's not directly
Yeah.
where we came from.
Yeah, I mean, he said once with the clearing, you spot mountain to go north, and I think that's the.
McRae aims his gun in a direction and fires.
Is that way? Okay. Stravinsky goes that way.
He fires at a tree. The shotgun cartridges and the shot splinters parts of the wood. I swear I saw something there. Something moved. He's reloading his
Okay.
gun. I'm just getting jumpy. Probably it's probably nothing, but
We are inordinately stupid going here without a compass, by the way.
Yeah, it's not ideal, really, is it?
You'd think these military men would. Anyway, calm down. We go find clearing.
yes, we'll go find a clearing. Well, maybe that way is a good way. He just points in a direction, not the direction that he fired in.
We didn't see or hear anything over there.
No, you didn't.
Okay, well, we go in the direction. We've got to make decision.
Well, let's go in the best decision, best direction as best we can. That isn't fucking
You
full
don't.
of horrible noise.
You don't think the way that Ray is pointing is the direction you came from. You're not entirely sure, but you don't think it is.
Have we been going uphill or downhill or anything like that?
That's a good question. You think, you're not entirely sure, but you think you might have been heading slightly uphill.
Then if we keep going uphill, we won't go back where we were. And there will likely be less trees. Shall we?
Yep, let's do it.
That sounds good.
You start moving up in that direction as at a bit of a fast pace, I presume. You're not walking, you're sort of semi-hustling here.
Walking.
Respect the hustle.
You keep moving, and sometimes your mind's playing tricks on you here. You think that you hear it, and then you turn around and it's not that, it's nothing. But you're always looking behind you just in case there is something odd or amiss, and eventually you move further and further in the direction, and you don't know how long you're moving for, but the trees just don't seem to be clearing until suddenly they end. And as they end, the trees just sort of end, as if there is a barrier that the trees refuse to move past. And as you step out of the woodland, you see that you have made it pretty much to a large set of hills. You'd almost call them. You're looking at them and thinking that you compare them to a mountain, but you know they're not. You know that these aren't mountains. But in front of you, winding up a small path, right next to this large hill, is a house.
Is it a house for little people?
No, this is a house for someone of your height. A stone cottage with a thatched roof. It rests beneath a low cliff.
Is there no vegetation here at all, or is it just trees that...
There are a few shrubs, but the forest has just ended at this point.
It could just be shallow with rocky under thingy, so the big rooted things can't...
A well-kept trail leads from this house a little bit further away from you. You've missed this trail, heading about it goes a few hundred meters parallel with the forest, and then enters the forest in that direction. This house looks rather serene and peaceful, and it looks
someone could go
unoccupied.
have a knock and ask her where we're going.
Aren't we still trying to run away from horrible creature?
Yeah, but if this guy knows where he lives, it give us an idea of where to most efficiently do this.
There a cauldron? We need to know.
A cauldron?
Yeah, man. Cottages with cauldrons.
You wanting to know if there is a witch brewing a potion within?
Strabinsky goes up and knocks. Fuck it.
You're gonna go up and knock. Okay. Yep. As you go up and knock,
hello.
You see that it is locked with a hasp and an old padlock.
I use my sledgehammer to smash the lock open.
Right.
It's locked from the outside?
It's locked on the outside.
No windows?
There are some windows.
So this is a man that expected people to respect property.
As you knock and you see this, your inquiries of investigation of the windows, Stravinsky, are quickly interrupted by an amazing roll from Schmidt as he just smashes the lock into 2 or 3 pieces, and it falls to the ground.
I give a little kiss to the head of my sledgehammer and says, "Good work, Brunhilde."
The door creaks a little open with the wind. Daring you to go within.
I said, well, I opened the door. Who wants to go in first?
And it's at this point that I think we will call it there.
No.
With a house by a large hill in the middle of nowhere, with a creature potentially in pursuit, and many questions, as well as £100 of gold.
Yes. On
Bling,
my
bling,
back.
sucker.
What have you found, and where does it lead? And will you outrun the thing that's buzzing behind you? You can't hear it right now, but you're pretty sure it's somewhere. And so, we'll catch you all next time. And hopefully, there won't be any more skeletons that decide to rise from their graves. Later, everyone.
Laters.
Ayo.